All right, guys, today we are going to be reacting to 10 reasons you will never leave Germany. Deutschland. What? What was that?
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another installment of this 5-video German series. I've decided to do another video outside because it's such a beautiful day. The weather is getting really nice, and for one, I like being out in the nice weather. So y'all already know how I feel about Germany, right? I've made videos on why I think Germany is popular and why I love Germany, but I don't think I've ever made a video on reasons why I would never leave. So for some people, they might be wondering why I won't step foot out of this country and live anywhere else, or even go back to the US where I came. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why I will never leave Germany.
All right, let's see. Let's see.
Reason number one, for a lot of us, we come from places that are like hectic and super duper busy. Very busy, where you're just doing something from the moment you wake up to the moment you go back to sleep at night. I come from that kind of place, and that's the way that I've always known life to be, until I moved to Germany. Once I moved to Germany, I realized that life could slow down a little bit more without affecting your quality of life. So number one has to be the slowdown of life's pace. I know y'all have heard me say this before, but if that's not a reason to believe that it's true, I don't know what is. If you're on your way to Germany, or if you live in a busy, busy country right now, trust me when I say that you will appreciate a slowdown of life once you get to live that way.
And
so that's
this
my
is
number one,
something
getting to enjoy life.
this is something that I personally have learned reacting to a lot of these videos, that you can still be a very well organized individual, but you don't have to kill yourself. That you can just even inspire to be successful, but you don't have to kill yourself. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to kill yourself. And I was working with the company that, man, I was working 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours a day. I was killing myself, guys. I have to just pull back and say, you know what, this is not the way to go to approach this. And I think it has to do with, really thinking about stuff more thoroughly. I don't know what the hell's going on today, but just having the time to just thinking things through with more details.
Life a little bit more and at a slower pace. Reason number two has to be that this is kind of a traveler's syndrome. As I outlined in a video before, Germany is surrounded by 9 other countries. That's 9 countries that you can visit at any time you want, except for now, during the time of the recording of this video here in March. But apart from that, you're able to visit 9 other countries, and that is fabulous. I find that very, very rewarding to be able to visit other countries and not spend a heck of a whole lot of money getting there. Having 9 countries border the country you live in is just a stupendous concept. So reason number 2 for me is Germany being a traveler's syndrome. Reason number 3 might be a little more close and personal to me, but I find shopping here not only a little bit cheaper, but a little bit more convenient and also a little bit more ideal for what it is that I need. Back in the States, everything is about brands. Everything is about that name brand, that high dollar brand, the top of the line this and top of the line that, and that gets old after a while. Anybody that's lived in the US, especially the hot spots, knows what I'm talking about when I say
cities.
spending money on the top brands.
A lot of
gets old
people,
after
for
a while.
example,
Not only
Whole Food is a good example of that. People that spend a lot of money in Whole Food just because it's Whole Food, when it's basically the same lettuce that you can just get for a local supermarket. Just because you want to carry the Whole Food bag, And personally, I've never been a fan of Whole Food. I think it just, it's not for me. It's not for me. But it's just the same lettuce you get in a local supermarket. But because you're going to shop in a supermarket called Whole Food, therefore you consider a higher elevated class kind of thing, right? You're projecting status.
only does it break the bank, but you're not really getting anything different or extra than you would if you got the off brands or the less expensive brands. So spending money here in Germany, I don't find it to be awesome, but I don't find it to be as bad as where I came from. That's my number 3. Reason number 4. Reason number 4 is likely another personal one dear to me, but growing up in the places that I grew up in, back in the US, back in the neighborhoods I grew up in, everybody's always looking to prove themselves one way or another. Everybody's looking to get some kind of respect that they feel like they're owed. I don't know for what reason, but after living in Germany, I feel like I'm surrounded by considerably less hotheads. And by that same token, I'm surrounded by considerably less show-offs. So for me, gone are the days where I'm always surrounded by one person who's trying
That
to
is
outdo the
important.
next person who's trying to outdo that next.
That is important. I know why he's saying, like, some of the areas here in the hood, just to put it that way, this is very prevalent. This is I'm talking about very prevalent. Everybody's trying to just one up each other in good ways and in bad ways. So it's a very toxic culture.
Person. I'm done with that. I don't see that in my life nowadays, and I feel cleansed. It's a good thing to not have to deal with one-uppers anymore. Number 5.
That's what I said.
My number 5 comes from a technical aspect because technically I do have one of these, but you actually don't exactly need a car living in Germany. With public transportation as good as it is, and with most villages having everything that you actually need to where you really don't have to leave and go super far distances if you don't want to, there's really no need to spend lots of money on a vehicle. Now, I know that makes some people's lives just a little bit easier and it's convenient in some ways, but you don't really need a car here in Germany, in my
That's
opinion.
good, man.
And I love that. I love the fact that if all went wrong and I ended up without a car, I just don't need one anyway. I could just take to public transportation and that would be my main way of getting around. I love that about Germany.
There we go.
Number
That's very
6.
good.
Now go with me here. My number 6 favorite reason why I won't leave Germany, Americans. Hold up. Hold on. Let me explain. The Americans that I meet here and the Americans that choose to live here think like me, okay? They have the mindset that I do.
So he's surrounded with well-rounded Americans. That's very good.
The way that I feel about Germany is the way that they feel about Germany. Essentially, they get it, okay? I know I threw you for a loop by saying that, but that's what I mean. The Americans here, I don't have to deal with them having the typical American mindset. So I'm not as put off about being around other Americans as I probably would be if they had the mindset that most Americans have before coming here.
Good
You
point.
get what I'm saying? Number 7. Number 7 for me has to be the multicultural atmosphere and the diversity that Germany has. Now, I know on the outside looking in, Germany has kind of the stereotypical outlook of a certain kind of people, but actually Germany is pretty diverse. There are people from not only the surrounding countries, but countries from afar too. Take the US, for example.
I was going to say, they're surrounded by different countries, so therefore, in those different regions, they probably have a little bit of that mix.
There are people from all over the US that are now calling Germany their home. There are people from other continents that are now coming here and starting to call this place their home. I know a lot of locals are a little apprehensive about that, but to me, it's still nice to have. I'm not saying I'm welcoming knuckleheads from any place, not at all. What I'm saying is I like the multiculturalism that's happening when it works and when it makes things better for everybody. That's what I love, and that's my number 7. Moving on to number 8. Number 8, and I think many people coming here are gonna like number 8 too. It's the celebrations. I've been to a lot of countries, and so far, I think Germany, to me, has the best celebrations. And that's counting everything, the fests and everything. Weihnachtsfest, Fasching, Oktoberfest, all the fests, all those things that give us the reason to come together and have fun. So far, out of all the places I've been, all the places I've celebrated in, Germany has the best celebrations to me.
Interesting.
I don't even think that needs any more explanation. And I also mentioned that in my very first video that got any traction on YouTube right here. So you can trust me when I say that this is a pretty good number 9 for me. Number 9. Now, number 9 has to be freedom of expression. This one I cannot stress enough. Back in the States, it seems like no matter what you do or what avenue you take or what you decide to do with your life, you're always going to be judged for it. You want to get this weird tattoo of a thumb on your chest? You're going to be judged and labeled. You want to go this avenue and do this thing that nobody else has ever done before, but it seems strange to them? You're going to be judged and labeled. You like to wear shoes on your hands? You're going to be judged and labeled. If you like to eat cereal out of a hat, judged and labeled. Now, I'm being silly, but the point is, it doesn't
that's a
matter
good
what
example.
someone wants to do with their own life, what they feel like they want to do to make themselves happy and satisfied in their own life, you're going to be judged and labeled for it. And I have to say, here, I'm facing way less of that than I was back in the States. Y'all can tell me if I'm being blind about that, but in my opinion and from my perspective,
I
it's
think
way less
your glasses.
judgmental here.
I think your sunglasses are good, man. I think your sunglasses are sharp they're sharp, man. Look at that. I'm watching the video, but I'm looking at his glasses. I'm like, man, those glasses look amazing.
Here than it is in the States. So for my number 9, and on this list, I couldn't go
Look
without
at his,
mentioning
even the
freedom
nose is just, like turning green. Like, man, that.
of expression. And here we are at the very last thing on my list, number 10. You see me? You see this? Unpopular. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. I'm not on anybody's radar here. Not authorities, not those looking to do harm. No one. I'm totally below the radar. No one cares about me. No one's got their eye on me. Nobody's watching me. And I love it. One's got their eye on
At least not because of my.
me. Nobody's watching me.
I cannot say that.
And I love it.
But you do.
I love it. I don't even think I have to dig into this any further. If you look like me in any other country, namely the US, you know what I'm talking about. You know what kind of attention I'm talking about that's undesirable amongst people like us. So I can't tell you how nice it is to be ignored. I like being ignored. Ignore me. So that's my list. 10 reasons why I personally will.
Yeah, this is very good, man. Nice. Good reasons, man. This was 4 years ago. This is interesting. All right. Very good. I mean, Germany is beautiful, man. I mean, Germany is gorgeous. I mean, even in the place that he's recording the video, it still look gorgeous. It seems like he's more the outside of the country, which, man, it's a win. I'm telling you, I'm not a city guy. I was raised in the countryside. So every time that I react to Germany, the cities look gorgeous, but some of the videos has to do with, a little bit in the outside rural areas. Man, I get goosebumps. And he seems like he's one of these guys that he just wants to be left alone. Let me just go to this area and just leave me alone. This is the guy for this. And he seemed like he went through one of those areas, like far away. Great video, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would love to hear you guys' opinion. In the meantime, guys, I'll see you in the next one.